to Zibby's Lounge. Come on to Zibby's Lounge. Come on to Zibby's Lounge.
Hi, and you're welcome to the Zibby Show. I'm Ungazi, and it's an absolute honor to have you guys join me once again on the show. Right, I mean, wow. It's been a very eventful 2 weeks here on the Zibby Show. It certainly has been. I just want to say a huge thank you to our Grammy-winning guest, JIV, who, I mean, he's so busy, but yet he was willing to take out time from his schedule just to be with us. So thank you so much, JIV. I really appreciate that. And it's amazing how many fans you have. Wow, it's been an amazing time, and I've enjoyed every second. Wow. Okay, I'll stop with the wows now, but I'm just still so excited, you know. Listening to that interview over and over, I have learned so much. Like, I keep learning. It's amazing how you can learn so much from one person, you know. You listen to it one time, you know, you get this, and then someone calls you and they say, you know, I listened to this, and this is how, you know, I feel about it. It's just amazing. So you're learning. Like, everyone is learning. It's really, really a nice feeling. Yes, I know a lot of people are disappointed because, you know, it's had to go into the second week. But unfortunately, we had just so much, so we couldn't all cram it in one episode. But we are happy. And I need to say, I've got a friend who right now all she talks about is JIV. Like, that's all she wants to talk about. And so it's so funny, like, sometimes she even uses phrase he uses, like, we're having a chat once, and then she goes, oh, yeah, like JIV said, I got standing O. And I'm like, what? So it's amazing. Thank you so much, JIV. And thank you to everyone who tuned in to listen, who sent all the comments. I am so thankful. Thank you so, so much. We had our show planned for today, but I mean, right now in Nigeria, so much has gone on over the past couple of weeks, and it just seemed proper to sort of talk about them and address these issues. There's so much to talk about, like, it's a bit hard to actually, you know, think of the right order. But let's talk about the changes in government in Nigeria. So I recall some episodes ago, I spoke about the now former aviation minister, Madam Stella Audra, with all the scandals surrounding her. Finally, it seems like Mrs. Audra has been fired. I don't know if I should be laughing about that, but I must say I'm relieved to hear it, because there's just been so much going on with Madame Audra. Like, it was like one thing after the other. And to me, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was allegedly finding out that she lied about her education. To me, that is unforgivable. And what was even more incredible was, you know, her people issued statements saying she would not be commenting on it. I mean, how do you not comment on that? You know, you're accused of falsifying documents. That is like a criminal offense. And you say, oh, I'm not going to be talking about that. So I think it's good to know that she was finally relieved of her job. Some people say, oh, no, she resigned. Well, I don't know how the resignation process happens in Nigeria, but I'm sure in most areas, in fact, I think everywhere, including Nigeria, when you resign, you should, you know, call, especially when you're in public office, you call a conference and you say you're resigning for whatever reasons. You don't wait till we hear you're fired and they say, no, I didn't get fired, I resigned. Well, whether you resigned or you were fired, the good news is you're no more there, because unfortunately you couldn't exactly do what you were supposed to be doing. So, yes. What I did find ironic was the day after it was announced that she had been relieved, the next day on the NTA, I'm seeing like maybe an hour or 2 hour documentary talking about all Stella Audra has achieved while being minister. And, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, Stella Audra has worked. She's really done a good job. Yes. I need to ask this question, though. In Nigeria, why do we feel like we need to celebrate or commend people for doing their jobs? I mean, doing what basically they are paid to do. I mean, okay, for some of us that have bosses, you know, you work in an office and then you've got, you know, the big man on top. Does your boss come in to say, oh, Mrs. You know who you are? Thank you for coming to work today. I appreciate you coming to work. And okay, you're supposed to send him an email, and you do, and he comes, oh, thank you for sending me that email. I appreciate it. And then you're a secretary, you're supposed to make the coffee. I mean, yeah, Curtsy would say thank you. But at the end of the day, you're being paid for that. So you should do it, whether you get the thanks or not. You know, I think if anyone deserves to be thanked, I think it's the populace and the masses that vote for you, or, you know, who agree that you're capable enough to handle that position, because it means they've got trust in you. And I think, you know, people in public office should actually be working to thank the masses for giving them the honor to serve them, because to me, I think ideally there's no greater honor than serving your country in one way or another. I mean, some years ago there was a story about Olympic gold medalist, I think Chioma Ajunwa, and Vladimir Duthiers, who's the CNN correspondent for Nigeria. He posted something about it. I think he had an interview with her or something. And then someone tweets him saying, it's a shame that an Olympic gold medalist is wasting away in a police station in Lagos. And I thought that was probably one of the most ridiculous things I had heard in my life. And I replied to her saying, serving your nation as a police officer to defend innocent lives and property is a thing anyone should be proud of. And the lady replies saying, yes, but not for an Olympic winner. Like, I still don't understand that. I think there is no greater call than serving your nation. And in whatever way you do it, even if it's by, you know, being a police officer, whether you're an Oscar winner or not, you know, even if it's doing community service, helping to pick up trash someone else left on the road, I think that's something to be proud of. So the government of Nigeria needs to look beyond the, oh, I'm doing you guys a favor. Because no, you're not doing us a favor. We're doing you a favor, you know, putting that trust in you and expecting you to do the right thing. So that's something that needs to be changed. We definitely need to change the way we think around here. And the minister of Niger Delta, Godsday Orubebe, was fired / resigned, whichever the way they're calling it these days. What I don't really understand is why there's a minister for Niger Delta. Because, I mean, the Niger Delta states have got their governors, and I'm sure they've got people in the Senate and House of Representatives, and I'm sure there's also the NDDC. So I don't know why the Niger Delta needs a governor. So maybe someone can explain that to me. And like I said, I'm still looking for someone who knows everything about the government, the various functions of every arm of the government, from the local government to the councillors to the, you know, Senate, House of Representatives. I really need to know, because I'm not kidding, I don't get it sometimes. And I think a lot of people out there don't understand it as well. So I feel like if we can all get that knowledge, then we have an idea of what we expect. And when we're not getting what we expect, we know who to write our letters, who to contact, you know, because that's the way it should be done. Yes, so, and of course, we're still hoping we'll hear some news about alleged maybe firings or replacements for Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and Diziani Maduekwe, because there's a lot going on. And then, of course, Lamido Sanusi has been suspended, like the president put it. Yeah, we heard he was fired and all. We're not too sure, but they say he was suspended. I really need to learn more about that. It's a whole dicey situation, because I've read some things which were not so great. I feel like sometimes as humans, we sort of let power get into our heads sometimes. So hopefully we can have some positive outcomes from all this. And it would be really disappointing after 2015 to learn that Stella Audra has been given another appointment at another time. Because, I mean, it's Nigeria and that's what happens. It's like the norm. But we really hope there'll be a difference this time. Let's take a short break and then we'll discuss some very important issues. Terrorists in Nigeria.
I pledge allegiance to God and the goodness of my home, USA. I pledge allegiance to me, J.I. there. From my mother to my lover, my boys to my brothers. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. Yes, Yes, life is a balancing act. There's ups and downs, good and bad. You sitting back thinking, how am I gonna balance all that? If you tip the scale, that could lead to a trip to hell. And me, well, it was meant for me to do well. Can't you tell? When I open my mouth, my soul yells. I promise to be the best. Yes, it's so easy. Why live greasy and go against the grain? There's no limit to what I can attain. I've been one of the special ones since I was just James. Little Jimmy, I've always been a little skinny, heavy and hard. I've been steady with the art. I envision growth. I use precision with my quotes. Yes, I fight for hope. Of course, I cast my vote. Cause so many fought and died for me. So how ignorant would it be if I didn't do me to the fullest and be the best that I can be? So you see, I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. Yes, you gotta march to the beat of the band. Give me a hand as I march on. I was born in March, I'm not a saint, but I'm marching in with the passion that starts within. As long as my heart beats within my chest, I promise to be the best. Yes, I'm blessed, even when my life was a mess. But I remember my mama looked me in my eyes and told me not to settle for less. You can't settle for stress, I'm the best, far from average. It was meant for me to fly high, so I let go of the baggage filled with bad habits. So when the blessings come my way, my hands will be free and able to grab it. I promise I'ma overcome, even when the problems weigh a ton. I promise I'ma get it done, even when the job ain't that fun. I promise, cause I know I'm blessed. I promise to pass the test. I promise to never rest. I promise to be the best, be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. Yes, I'ma make you proud. Those here on the ground and those up there in the clouds, screaming out loud, let your tears rain. Cheer the same, I salute you. I'ma do what suits you, I'ma be the best for you. This isn't a ploy to win the media over. I just find joy in the fact that I'm not mediocre. It's not a part of my demeanor. The path is a beast, but I swear I'm meaner. You might be a bootleg, but I'm a screener. No, I'm not a block hustler, I'm a blockbuster. It's J.I. Max. I've been sent here to save you with these words, the same way our soldiers were sent to save Iraq. Come back. Come back. I promise not to break my promise. You see, I'm gonna be the best, cause it was meant for me to be the best of the best. J.I.V. Isn't it obvious? Isn't it? March on.
And you're welcome back. That was Promise by J.I.V., Grammy winner, who was a guest on our show over the last 2 weeks. I hope, we got inspired by that, because I certainly think it's something that can inspire and motivate anyone. All right, let's move on now to terrorism in Nigeria. We understand terrorism is a global problem, but it seems to me like in Nigeria, it's sort of, wow, yes. I'm getting very emotional, but I'll try to keep my emotions in check right now. A few days ago, Boko Haram struck a federal government college, Buniyadi, in Yobe State, killing, according to reports, as much as 53 children in school. Yes. Now, the thing is, with the Boko Haram killing people in Nigeria, it seems to me like a lot of us have sort of gotten used to it, like, it's normal. Because sometimes we hear it's like, oh, Boko Haram again. And then we move on without actually thinking of the pain that these people are going through, especially for those of us that don't live in the affected regions, especially like in northern areas, So it seems to us like, oh, it's far away. But the fact is, I believe it's spreading. It is. And it's up to every one of us to try to see what we can do. You know, if there's anyone suspicious around you, please make a report. You know, if you don't feel comfortable, if you feel threatened, if you hear anything. The problem also is people are scared of going to the police because you know how it is in Nigeria. When you go to the police, sometimes you're detained for being a suspect. You know, so sometimes people have information, but it's very difficult to give out the information. But it's sad. I went to a federal government college, and for everyone who went, they're called unity colleges. For everyone who went to a unity college in Nigeria, we see ourselves as family. You know, I've got friends that finished from FGC Port Harcourt even years before I was born, because it's called that pro-unitate. You know, it's that pro-unitate spirit. You know, we see ourselves in unity, like we're family. So when I hear of people going to schools and killing children, it's sad. But I think with this time, it hit me really hard because I feel like those kids are family. We're all part of the whole FGC family, the Pro-Unitate family, the Unity College family of Nigeria. I mean, the Unity Colleges were found in Nigeria to, you know, establish links, sort of like what the NYSC is supposed to do, like bring people from everywhere together so we can learn, live, and, you know, happily integrate like one family that we as Nigerians should be. But unfortunately, seeing this happen, I don't know how those kids will ever go back to that school. I don't know how parents will ever let their kids go away from them. It's just so devastating. Like, oh, I'm sorry, but it's so hard for me. I'm just thinking this could have been me. It could have been any of my friends. It could have been anyone at any federal government college in Nigeria, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not saying the lives lost at other schools are not precious. They are. Every life is precious, whether it's Nigerian, whether it's Christian, whether it's Muslim, whether it's whatever religious or tribal or ethnicity. It's precious. And that's why we need to do something. You know, I don't know. What can we do? We need to sit together and think of what we can do, because it's a terrible situation. Terrible, terrible situation. And then, of course, after that, probably the next day, churches were attacked again. And as much as 11 people died, churches were burned. I mean, why can't we all just get along? Is this a religious war? Is this a political war? Is it an ethnic war? It's hard. Everything is so deeply integrated these days. It's actually hard to find out the root cause of the problem. But what I know is these terrorists are out of control. Whether people are dying, you know, whether the people who are dying are far from us or close to us or live with us or in different regions of Nigeria, the fact is we're all Nigerians and all lives are precious and no one should be dying. So please, I'm begging the government, if you need foreign assistance, please request for it. Seriously, because I mean, I remember Nigeria would send troops to, you know, Liberia and countries that needed help. I mean, if we have troops that can go out to help people in other countries, why can't we help ourselves? Charity begins at home. So we need to try and start to work to put out our own problems, because if you're not making an attempt to put out your own fires, no one will help you. Okay? And if we need to go to foreign countries and say we need help, we cannot tackle terrorism, it's beyond us, let's do that. You know? And the thing is, you know how it is with Nigeria, it's very hard to get accurate statistics. Some newspapers are saying 49 children, some are saying 50, some are saying 53. So it's really hard for us to get the adequate number. But one thing I can say is that's one life too many to lose. I know how it is in federal government colleges. Sometimes boarders want to leave hostel, you know, without permission, and then you can just flee. So, you know, some people might have, you know, taken exits, not being there. We don't know. Some people might have been there while they shouldn't have been there. Maybe someone went out late, couldn't go back home, and decided to stay overnight in the dormitories. You know, things like that happen. So it's very hard to get accurate figures. So I just really hope that this can be solved. And then, of course, we move on to the centenary celebrations. There was a lot of reservation, and people were upset that the centenary celebrations still went on to hold despite, you know, these children dying. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people. I felt like it wasn't a time to celebrate anything. It was a time to mourn, a time to weep, a time to re-strategize, a time to think, and a time to be strong. More on this when we come back after the break.
Hello? Is anybody out there? I got a story to tell. Somebody's got to hear my story. I need to write. I try to get you on my mind, but I can't get you off of my face. If I could sing, I would echo words about her beauty within a verse. I'm a roach in a world of rage. In shackles and chains. The wax, the melting wax begins its journey down the length of the wig. Transformation, transformation. Begin. I just had phone sex with no protection, and now I got an ear infection. I'm not hearing you. My poems may drag and rough draft, so I backspace then backdraft. To cool off, I take bubble baths and volcanoes. Nobody sitting down, that's why they call it the stands. Who needs the weed, man, when I got you? If I were on the highest cliff, on the highest rift, and you slipped off the side and clenched onto your life in my grip, I would never, ever let you down.
This is Abiodun Oyewole, better known to many as Dune of the Last Poets, and I'm very happy to be here in the studio working with Jay Ivy on his new CD. It's always a pleasure to work with someone who you can appreciate, someone who you respect, someone who you feel has talent that can take us to the next level. He is a healing poet, a brother who is concerned about the future of us, and I was very happy and pleased to be a part of this wonderful project. Ashe.
I touched down with a pulse and a prayer as my lungs stretched out for this earthly air. Familiar to the touch, I looked up as an angel rubbed her fingers through my hair. I remembered that healing feeling, so I spoke out, but there was no one there to translate. Quickly I found out love is how we would communicate. Through this journey I lost my language, and at the time I didn't know that in time I would find strange gifts. A native tongue that would allow me to spit lit, but now I get it. So when the stage is in sight, I hit it, I can't quit it. Cause I'm a spirit here to lift other spirits. You might not know what I'm on, but I know that you feel it. I know you feel this feeling, it's the reason we all living. The reason for the time we were so graciously given. I'ma put my tears on this pavement, my blood on the pavement. I'ma leave this place with the same thing I came with. My soul and my spirit. My soul and my spirit. I'ma put my tears on this pavement, my blood on the pavement. I'ma leave this place with the same thing I came with. My soul and my spirit. My soul and my spirit.
And you're welcome back to the show. That was Here I Am by Grammy-winning poet Mr. J. Ivy. The reason I'm playing a lot of this is because I want people to listen and be inspired. And I'm sure a lot of us are inspired, so be inspired. That just reminds me, I think it was about 2 years ago, popular singer Heavy D passed on. I'm sure we all remember Heavy D from the 90s. You know, he just seemed like such a nice guy. He was a rapper, and I can't think of the song Candy Rain by Soul For Real without thinking of Heavy D, because, I mean, Candy Rain was one of my best songs. I remember at my 13th birthday party, I made sure I played the song over and over and over. And I didn't care when anyone was like, can we listen to something else? It was just, I just love that song. You know, it's like, my love. Yeah, so God bless you, Heavy D, and rest in peace. He died from heart problems, and his last tweet said, be inspired. And after he tweeted, be inspired, he died a few hours later. So I think that was very symbolic. He was sending out a message, and that is our message, to inspire someone. Inspire someone to go out there and do something, shun crime, you know, be educated, help your fellow human being. You know, it's like, be inspired. I believe if we can do all this, we'll have a better society. And I really want everyone to be inspired, including myself. So thank you, Heavy D, for those words, and rest in peace. Moving on, we're now back to the centenary celebrations, the amalgamation. That's a difficult word to pronounce. Yes, the amalgamation. I really need to learn to pronounce that word, though. 1914, I think it was Lord Lugard. Okay, excuse me just in case I'm wrong. But yes, some people felt there was absolutely nothing to celebrate, because some people said we were fused into a country, we made tenants into a country. We're not supposed to be one country. They just brought two different people and threw us together for their own good. Maybe that's what happened, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think whether we want to admit it or not, we are Nigerian. Regardless of whether we've got, you know, different ethnicities or beliefs or ways of life or anything like that. Fact is, you were born in the nation that is called Nigeria. I was born in a nation called Nigeria. Everyone was born in that nation called Nigeria. So we are Nigerians, and all we have to do is make sure we love our country. It's part of the American creed. It says I believe it's my duty to love my country, to respect its flag, to obey its laws. And I think that's something we need to incorporate as well. As Nigerian citizens, obey the country's laws, love it and respect it. So I think that's what we should do. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're not going anywhere. We're not splitting to anywhere. We are Nigerian. We have our problems, but I believe with love, respect, and tolerance, of course, with patience, we will get there, and we'll be that, nation. Like, it reminds me of one of Martin Luther King's speeches, where he says, I have a dream that one day the blacks and the whites, the Jews and the Gentiles, the Catholics and the Protestants would hold hands together and sing in one voice that old Negro song, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. And I really hope that we can have that day in Nigeria where we'll hold each other, regardless of our faiths, our beliefs, our traditions, our ethnicities, and know that we are one and live in love. So, yes, some people thought it was inappropriate to have the celebrations. I did think that as well for a lot of the time before it happened, because I couldn't understand why people would be dining and whining and, drinking and having shows and things when families were crying, when such a tragic act had been committed against the people of Nigeria. And it was, yes, I still had the idea up until Saturday evening, where I saw a few clips of the show. Okay, now, before we get to that, there were talks of certain people rejecting the awards and on their own reasons. Popular among them, Gani Fawahimi's family. They said they would decline the awards he was given because, it was nominated alongside former military general Ibrahim Babangida. And also they spoke about the killings of children, the insecurity, the corruption, and that's why they were rejecting the award on Gani's behalf. Gani is now deceased. Also, Fela Kuti's family also said they would reject the award, which they did, because they still needed an apology from the Nigerian government for killing Fela's mom, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, and burning down Kalakuta Republic. This was done, I think, in the 70s, way before a lot of us were born. Yes, but that's still very tragic. And Wole Soyinka said he would ignore it as well, but may consider going for the after event, maybe in London or something. I also saw Julius Agu on Twitter, who said he was going to reject the award based on respect for the innocent children who died at FGC Buniyadi. Now, Julius Agu is a comedian, so I can't be too sure if, he was actually going to get an award or a special recognition thing, or if he was just saying that, but, that's what I saw. And whichever way, I understand everyone's reasons. Like with Fela Kuti's family, I still believe that the government needs to apologize to them, because it's never easy to lose a family member. Then, we can't be too sure if she was, thrown down intentionally, or if she was pushed, or if it was an accident. But the fact is, it happened, and that family definitely needs an apology for that. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti was an inspiration to a lot of women. Apparently, she was the first Nigerian woman to drive a car. So, and she was the foremost educationist. So, she's someone that should be celebrated, Mrs. Ransom Kuti. And I need to say, speaking of Mrs. Ransom Kuti, it takes me back to a book I read ages ago when I was about 15 or 16. About 16. It's called Ake, The Childhood Years. It was written by Professor Wole Soyinka. It details his childhood. And, we can find a lot more about Fumilayo Ransom Kuti in that book, because apparently Fumilayo Ransom Kuti and the Ransom Kuti family and the Soyinkas are actually related. I didn't know that till I read the book. So I think we'll probably treat that book in one of our future book club reads. It just shows you can learn from everywhere, right? Yes. So, back to the centenary celebrations. Like I said, did think it was inappropriate for that celebration to hold. But when I saw some parts of it, I think it sent a very strong message. because on stage I saw President Goodluck Jonathan, I saw General Ibrahim Babangida, I saw General Sani Abacha's wife, I saw someone who I assume is from the Murtala Muhammad family, and of course there was Shehu Shagari, who was a president in the 80s, and I was amazed by how strong he was, because he's 89 years old, and to me that just, it inspired me to, wow, he's 89 and he's out there and he's strong and he's so healthy, and wow, did he find a fountain of youth? Back to the issue at hand though, it sent a very strong message. You see, all these leaders, Abdul Salam Abubakar was there as well. It sent a message to me to see all these leaders, past, present, whether they are Hausa or Muslim or Christian or from the Niger Delta. To me, I think being together, of course, how could I forget our ever wonderful president, General Olusegun Obasanjo. Now, I need to say, Obasanjo is just one of those people you can't help but admire. He's got such a sense of humor. Like, I saw when they put that thing around his neck and he's rolling his head around. Me and my dad actually burst out laughing because we thought that was so funny. So, Obasanjo is just this charismatic person. You can't help but love him. And, seeing him there, it just, with everyone else, it just showed, like, why can we not get along? These people are all in good terms. They're all working for the best, of the country. So, why do we feel the need that we need to say, oh, this person's from there, that person's from there, oh, that one's Christian, let's kill them. Let's not give shops to them. Let's not give houses to them because they're from a different region. I mean, it's ridiculous, So I think President Jonathan and the other leaders of Nigeria sent a very strong message, especially to the Boko Haram terrorists who take delight in killing innocent people who cannot defend themselves. They were sending a message to them, you know what, you can do whatever you want, we are united, we will not be divided, and we are strong. So I think that was a very strong message, and on that alone, I'm very happy that the celebrations went on. Because I didn't think there was that unity until I saw them all on stage, and then I realized, yes, wow. I mean, at that moment, I felt some emotions in me. So, that was a clear message to every terrorist out there and any evil person who claims or who has a chance or who has any plans, basically, of taking innocent lives to prove a point, whether political or ethnic or religious. You are failing because we are united. We will not be divided. So, thank you for that message. I really, really liked that. And, of course, I need to ask, though, can anyone remember seeing General Yakubu Gowon? Because I can't remember seeing him there. I know he must have been there, but, I can't remember seeing him. And just in case anyone has a link to General Yakubu Gowon, please tell him. I'd love to have him on my show. I truly admire him, and he's an inspirational person. So, long live Nigeria, and we will not be divided. We will overcome. I will stand together and we will win and we shall be victorious. Saying victory just reminds me of, videos I've seen of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo always giving the victory finger. I called it peace. Yes, in my generation right now, we'll think it's peace, but it also represents victory. Peace and victory, it's all good, but I like to think of victory. So, yes, Nigeria, we shall be victorious. And let's take another break. And we'll be right back.
Yeah, that's right. You know my guy said, he said, yo, J.I., you know what you gotta do in life? I said, what's that? He said, all you gotta do in life is just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, never mind the rain, never mind the pain. There's gonna be speed bumps, so you either gotta jump or pump the brakes. Life will dish out heartaches and heartbreaks. So it's all about how much of it that you can take. Don't wait, move. In life you gotta pay dues, so don't trip on the toes. If you got goals, read the signs, dodge the potholes. Pit but don't stop, shift to the top. Pace yourself, don't race yourself. Check your review, be aware what's near you. Stay fresh, don't stress. Road rage leads to old age, So watch out for the roadkill and oil spills. On dark nights, don't get dead in your headlights. Head right, don't get left. Express your way, your inner state of mind. Keep your own mind, don't let the GPS replace your gut. Protect yours, get insured, keep it in the trunk. Get high octane, but don't hit that skunk. Keep your ride detailed, don't sit in the funk. Before you lease the Z, make sure you get from A to B. See, your vocals ain't local, they're global. So get off your feet, hit the street, stretch it out. If it's traffic, you can either be patient or you can reroute. Whatever your decision is, do it without doubt. Don't rush your hour, don't do it for cloud. Do it cause you love it. Don't be slow to merge when you hit that curve, hug it. Never ride the clutch. You gotta know when to ride Dutch and find your spot. Don't forget there is a blind spot. Drop your top, let the sun hit your face. Stay tuned up, tuned in, it's a long race. So if you gon' do it for a while, smile while you endure the miles. Roll down the window, let the wind blow, feel the breeze, the fresh air. Make sure you keep it spare, don't lose your keys. Pump the volume, blow the horn, make some noise, that's the reason you were born. So grab the wheel, do what you feel and you will always be felt. Yeah, the cops be tripping, so don't forget your seatbelt. Just do you, show the world why you came. And always remember, just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Keep your lane gangster and stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Yeah.
And you're welcome back to the Zibby Show. That was Stay in Your Lane by Grammy-winning artist Jay Ivy, who was a guest on the show 2 weeks ago. All right, so let's talk about the petroleum situation. Right now, there's fuel scarcity in Nigeria. After the subsidy thing was removed some years ago, the price went from about 60 naira up to 97 naira. But with the recent fuel situation in Nigeria right now, filling stations are selling it at about 120 naira, 125 naira, and some even 135 naira per litre, while the government has stipulated that the price should be 97 naira per litre. So we need to ask, why is there the scarcity? What is it? What can we do to stop it? Because the thing is, when the price of the fuel and petrol goes up, everything goes up as well. Cost of food, cost of services, cost of transportation, everything increases. So basically, not only are we paying extra to get electricity in our homes, because I mean, for a lot of us, we use, we haven't got 24 hours like stable electricity, so we need to use alternate means to get it. So now we're paying more for that. And then in addition to paying more for that, we're paying more for food in the markets because of transportation costs. We're paying more for, transportation. Like you're going out, it used to be 50 naira, but now it's 100 naira, or it's 80 naira. There's an increase because at the end of the day, the people in charge of providing these services also need to pay extra to get them. So it's only understandable and just for you to pay more to them. But we as the consumers are suffering. I mean, you want to go to the salon to get your hair done, you need to pay a little bit extra, because guess what? They're paying extra for their electricity as well. If the electricity situation in Nigeria can be fixed, so much money can be saved. I mean, I used to get a liter of diesel for 155 naira. Right now, it's 160 naira. And that's at an NNPC station. At the other ones, it could be as much as 180 naira per litre. So a lot of people are suffering. There's increased traffic. The queues are crazy. Everything is just crazy. So please, I'm appealing to the government. Let's see what we can do to ensure that we always have these things in circulation. So, we don't need to have those queues. We don't need to have people suffering. We don't need to have people, paying extra for everything else. So please, let's try to work on that. Okay? On our here. Thank you, my people. Okay, so it's been, a very exciting show. And I've got some really, really good news. Like, really, really good news. I mean, I don't even know where to start from. I think with time, I'll be able to say it to you in full. But right now, it's still a bit low-key. So I'll try to keep it at that. But all I want to say is thank you for the opportunity. And I just want to also state that over the last 2 weeks, I've met some of the most amazing people ever. I mean, wow. It's just wow. I've met some very amazing people. And I'm so glad I've had that opportunity. And I'm so glad, it's ongoing. And I cannot wait till it's the right time to tell you guys. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. I'll give an update from Sterling Bank. I'm sure a lot of us remember it was the 4th or the 5th episode where there was an alleged scam with Sterling Bank taking 1,000 naira from people in the Niger Delta under the guise that they would get 100,000 naira from the government. It's into the 3rd month now. Sterling Bank has still not made any statements. They've still not replied any emails or tweets. They've still not contacted these people who paid this money on how to get a refund, on how to apologize, or how, to get account details. So, we're still appealing to Sterling Bank to do the right thing. Okay. All right. So, on this note, I'd say thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm going to give you a wise word. Every week I always like to keep a word that can inspire us. This is a word all of us probably heard when we're younger. We hear it every day. But I'll say it again, because it directly relates to the situation in Nigeria. The centenary celebration, what I think I could deduce from seeing everyone together on stage. And what that quote is simply, united we stand, divided we fall. Have a lovely week. Take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget to spread the love. Aloha. Okay, guys. So this week for the Zibby Show book club, the book we're going to be reading is The Double Comfort Safari Club. It's written by Alexander McCall Smith. It's part of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency. It's a very interesting series of books. I remember I first came across the series when I was sitting down in the train station in Macclesfield, and someone had dropped the book, and I picked it up and I started reading, and was I blown away. So since then, I've been a follower of the McCall series called the #1 Ladies Detective Agency. It's a very interesting series. It's all books set in Africa, in Botswana to be precise. I mean, I really like his works, but it seems to me, okay, you know what, I'll save that for later. We'll save that for next week. Alright, so this week we're reading The Double Comfort Safari Club by Alexander McCall Smith. And that will be our special read, which we'll review next week.
Come on.